Being a Spurs fan right now, not for the weak of heart. There are great days. There are horrible days. Basically, it's like going to answer your front door and having no idea if you're going to find a girl with a box of Thin Mints or the mom from Get Out.
No.
Spurs fans got both on Saturday this weekend. Look, Saturday the news came that Kawhi Leonard had left the team again, dimming many hopes that he would be back on the court this season and further muddying his whole future with the organization. But then yesterday the team upset the Rockets, so yay. Seriously, though, this was a legit impressive win. Even taking into account that Chris Paul didn't play, San Antonio messed with all the things that make Houston, holding the Rockets to season lows in points, field goal percentage, three-pointers made, assists. LaMarcus Aldridge was strong, and so was Rudy Gay. Take a look at this sequence. The block at one end, right? And then Ginobili helps him with the turnover, and then, man, this is how you finish things. Damn, that's nice.
The Rudy Gay of old right there.
It has been fun, right? Seeing Gay's athleticism, his timing coming back more consistently. And let's face it, the Spurs will need Gay if they are going to be in any sort of force this postseason. Because, well, yeah, now we're back to the whole Kawhi thing. According to this weekend story from Woj and Michael C. Wright, Kawhi is once again in New York seeing his private doctor there and working out in the Players Association gym. They say he, quote, left San Antonio and his teammates in the aftermath of increasing tension levels surrounding his disconnect with the team, unquote. Yikes. And by the way, no one inside or outside the organization has suggested that Kawhi isn't playing right now because he's pouting or trying to send a message. As we have noted on this show several times, Kawhi Leonard is extremely tough, extremely dedicated. I promise you guys, if he felt he could play, he would play. But he clearly doesn't feel he can play, and the Spurs clearly do feel that he could play, and the difference in medical opinions here has turned into something extremely uncomfortable. Tony Parker came out the other day and made the point that he and Kawhi had suffered the same injury, but his was, quote, 100 times worse. And he noted, of course, he's been back playing since late November. There's also Spurs management, which has said on the one hand, they do encourage players to get second outside opinions, but then execs have also made public comments praising the guys who don't get second opinions. And the reason everybody is so interested goes way beyond San Antonio. This summer, Kawhi is eligible for the Supermax extension. It used to be considered a no-brainer the Spurs would offer to him, but we're talking about $219 million over 5 years. And if you can't agree on what's wrong with the guy, or when or whether you are going to get him back on the court, well, do you still make that offer, carte blanche? And if you're Kawhi and you feel the organization has publicly undercut you, do you take it? Or do you take it because, hey, most people do not turn down $219 million, but then as soon as you are allowed in a year to ask for a trade, do you ask for one? And yes, this whole discussion seems insane to be having about the Spurs and Kawhi Leonard. But also, this past summer, Kyrie Irving asked to be traded away from one of the greatest players in NBA history and a team that had made the finals 3 straight seasons. So clearly people were in uncharted territory here all the way around. Certainly, if Kawhi and the Spurs cannot reach an extension, you will see Kawhi on the trade block. I do not expect San Antonio to just let him play out the final year of his current deal and then watch him walk away. Of course, in the end, this could all still get solved quickly and quietly. Remember, it was just last summer that Aldridge asked to be traded. Pop turned that situation around with some compromise and a bottle of Chianti. But at least as of right now, well, we're not there yet with Leonard. And one of the most reliable organizations in sports continues to be weirdly, strangely, anything but. Byron, do you think it is possible? I can't believe I'm asking this question. Do you think it is possible Kawhi Leonard has played his last game with the Spurs?
It's possible, but I don't think it's going to be that. I think he's going to be in San Antonio. I really do. I think that at the end of the day, he's going to sit down with Pop. He's going to sit down with RC, and they're going to squash all this. This is, like you said, unprecedented. You just don't see this from San Antonio, the Spurs. This is one of the classiest organizations in all of sports. You know, so what they're going through is something that we've never seen before. But also, you know, this organization has always been the type of organization that has always had their players back. You know, Pop has really created all this rest stuff. You know, I'm gonna rest my players, get them ready for the playoffs, and I don't care where we end up seeded-wise. So this right now is just totally different than what we've seen in recent years with this organization. Kawhi Leonard is one of the best players in this league, one of the best two-way players in this league. If he needs a second opinion, go get a second opinion. I know for a fact, just like you, that if this kid could play, he would play. And we had a saying back in the day with the Lakers, you know, when you put the purple and gold on, be ready to perform. There's no excuses. But if you don't put it on, that means that you have a damn good reason for not putting it on. That means you must be really hurting. Right. You know, so I really believe that this kid right now is hurting. He's trying to find some answers to why this is continuing to linger like it has. And also the other thing that kind of bothered me is, and I love Tony Parker, but to come out and say, well, mine was 100 times worse, and I would play. Now, you know what? You got to have your guys back, too. You know, a lot of that stuff should have stayed in the locker room, first of all. It should never have got out. And that's the type of organization this has been over the years. So I think there is a big disconnection with the organization and Kawhi right now. And him going back to New York, I think is his way of just saying, I just need to be away from you guys and find out exactly what's going on with this injury so I can get ready to play for next year. And we talked about this 2 or 3 weeks ago. Should shut him down anyway. Should have shut him down anyway.